Hey guys, so today we have a 2020 election prediction between John Delaney, who is a representative from the state of Maryland, and President Trump, who is from the state of New York, but he currently resides in Washington, D.C. as the President of the United States. So we're going to go in and go through all the safe states first. So Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii, New Mexico, I would put in the safe column for someone like a John Delaney, Illinois, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, the District of Columbia, New York, Vermont, and that one electoral vote in the state of Maine. So now let's finish the safe Democratic states. Now let's go through the safe Republican states. So we have Alaska, Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, most of Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, West Virginia. So we have 188 electoral votes for John Delaney of Maryland and 125 for Donald Trump of New York. So now let's go through and dish out some of the swing states. So Texas, probably not going to go to someone like a John Delaney. In fact, I can't see it being within 5% like it was for Beto O'Rourke in 2018. I just can't see that one happening for someone like a John Delaney. Another state I see in the leaning Republican column, that's the state of Arizona. Same thing with Georgia and North Carolina. These two states have high African American population, and then Arizona has a high Latino population, but I really can't see John Delaney really appealing to those voters very well. He would not do as well in these states as someone who can actually appeal better to these voters. Another state I see the president doing well in, that's the state of Florida. I see that one going narrowly towards the President of the United States, and reasoning behind it, it's going to be a hotly contested race, but at the end of the day, the retired voters, they're probably going to choose someone like a Mr. Trump over someone like a John Delaney. So I see Florida narrowly going towards the President of the United States. So now let's go through some of the kind of more swingish states. So the state of Nevada. I'm going to talk about each of these states for about 40 seconds to 1 minute, something like that, because I think they're all going to be quite close. So, the state of Nevada, John Delaney really can't actually appeal very well to these voters in the state of Nevada. He can't really, I don't know, he can't like relate to them. And at the end of the day, it's going to be a close race with someone like a John Delaney. But at the end of the day, I see it narrowly going towards Mr. Delaney. Another state I see ever so narrowly going towards Mr. Delaney. That's the state of Colorado. Big Latino population, and I can't really see someone like a Mr. Delaney really appealing to those voters in a state. In the state of Colorado with a very, very high Latino population. Now, in the state of Nebraska, I see that second district likely to go over towards Mr. Trump. But I think it's going to be kind of within 7 points, something around that ballpark. I see it being kind of competitive, but not as competitive as it was with someone like a Hillary Clinton back in 2016. I see that one going towards John Delaney. Another state I see going towards John Delaney, the state of Virginia. I see that one going towards John Delaney, but it's not by a leaning margin. He comes from the neighboring state of Maryland. I see it likely to go over towards John Delaney outside of the 5% mark. It's been trending Democratic for years and years. The last time the Republicans won a presidential contest was in 2004. That is now a very, very long time ago. And it's becoming very, very difficult to make a case for any Republican to win in a state like Virginia. While there were problems with their candidate on the GOP side, Tim Kaine won in a landslide against Corey Stewart. Clinton won, Obama won 2 times, Mark Warner held on in a Democratic wave year, in a Republican wave year. There's so many examples. Yeah, so that's the state of Virginia. Now we're going to go up into the northeast. So the state of New Hampshire, I actually see now going towards John Delaney. Now, reasoning behind this, it's traditionally been a swing state, maybe with a slight tilt for the Democrats. And John Delaney is kind of this like generic Democrat. I would say John Delaney would probably be around that generic Democrat type. I see those New Hampshire voters going for someone like a John Delaney, but then in the state of Maine, I see that Maine at large likely to go over towards Delaney, but then that second district will still remain in the Republican column. So now we have 222 electoral votes for John Delaney, 236 for Mr. Trump. So where do we stand? So John Delaney, if he wins the state of Pennsylvania, that's the number one priority. He needs to win Pennsylvania, and he needs to win Michigan, right? If he wins both of those states, he can either get in Ohio, but that's not as likely. I think the likeliest path for him to win all those 3 states, and then pick off Minnesota. I think this is probably the likeliest path for a John Delaney victory, but I'm not saying that all these states will go to him. How Trump can win? He wins in Ohio, he wins in Iowa, and he wins in Wisconsin. That would give him a narrow 270 to 268 victory over Mr. Delaney. So math clearly in Trump's favor. And I see the states of Ohio and Iowa going towards him, no question. These are traditionally Republican states. They wouldn't vote for someone like a John Delaney. They don't vote for people like Hillary Clinton. Both these states I see narrowly going towards the President of the United States. So it all comes down to these 4 states. Let's start off with Minnesota. I see Minnesota going towards John Delaney. Now, some people may say that, well, Trump got really close in 2016, no one was paying attention, right? It could have easily gone to Trump. But again, his approval rating is underwater 15%. That's not good in a state that you're thinking of winning. That would be like if you think of another state where Trump is over by 15, probably states like Missouri, Indiana, the Democrats can win. Well, it's probably not happening at this point in time. Now, with the state of Wisconsin, I see this being very close, but I think that it could narrowly go over towards the president. Now, reasoning behind it, John Delaney can't appeal to Wisconsin voters. He's a bit too much like Hillary Clinton. He's too establishment friendly, and Wisconsin voters don't like that. They just elected a Democratic governor, but again, it was expected that that would happen, right? Next up is the state of Michigan. I see this one going towards John Delaney. Now, this is a split decision from the Rust Belt, and I see that kind of appeal narrowly carrying over and helping out Mr. Trump in a state like Michigan, but I don't think it's enough to push him over the line. Now, in the state of Pennsylvania, I see this again. Very close, unbelievably tight. But if you look at where Mr. Delaney is from, he's a representative from Maryland. I just can't see him appealing to these Pennsylvania white working class voters, and just like Wisconsin, I see Pennsylvania narrowly going towards the President of the United States. So that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down suggestions below, and I'll see you all in the next